Praise 1025 Atlanta's Inspiration Station. What's going on, family? Nico hanging out with you. Listen, joined by a very special guest today. He is an author, leader, and visionary who has just released his 15th book. That is amazing. How God Made Me, I Found Me. Please welcome the amazing Dr. Antoine Jasmine. How are you?
Good. I'm wonderful. Is it great to be here? And
Yes.
thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Now, listen, I'm looking forward to dive into this. When this came across my desk, one of the things that I'm a big believer of is taking care of your mental health.
Yes, sir.
Especially for men. But before we do that, I want to jump into who is Dr. Antoine Jasmine.
Who is Dr. Antoine Jasmine? Well, that's a few layers to me, but it would take us a few weeks to do.
Okay. Hey, listen.
Express that. But I'm intuitive with humanity, and I thank you for your sensitivity
sir.
be able to, men can be able to be sensitive to, as men, our mental health. You know, we can have masculinity, we can have our egotistical ideas, but we still need to be healed.
Yeah. I think this is so important too, because a lot of men are struggling with their mental health right now and don't know how to get the help they need or don't know where to start. As a person who has written their 15th book, what do you say to those gentlemen who struggle with this?
Well, I would say one is talk about it. Don't fear to ask or tell someone I need help.
Yeah.
And I think this generation that's coming upon us, we have to be more transparent in our healing elements.
Yeah.
And you can only heal others to the degree you've been healed.
Absolutely. Say that. So that's really, can you say that again?
You can only heal others to the degree that you've been healed.
Oh my goodness. I just want to speak to that for a little bit. I just wrote my first book.
Wow, congratulations.
And thank you. And that was one of the reasons why I did it. I tell people all the time that I couldn't help anybody else until I helped myself.
Right.
And you know, I think that is very important. Now, this is your 15th book. What inspired you to write this particular one?
Well, this specific book, considering I've been through my mental challenges, having to bury both of your parents in 2020 on the same day. I'm the youngest of three, so I was at a crossroad. Do I go crazy? Do I do drugs? Do I become an alcoholic? Or do I level up and see there is a light at the end of this tunnel?
Yeah.
So that encouraged me to give permission to be Antoine Jasmine, many titles, many accomplishments. But all of your accomplishments does not heal you mentally.
Say that, because a lot of times people will forget that people have regular lives, real life.
Yes.
Real life. They see all these accomplishments, like you mentioned. They see that you had at the time wrote 14 books and then you're working on 15 and will think that you got it all together. How has that helped you to know that you can just live in your vulnerability?
Well, one, you have to make a decision you're going to be healed. And I believe God had placed in the universe elements to heal us, as your physical body has element to heal itself of sickness.
Yeah.
So likewise, there are people that the universe or God will send you to help bring healing. So it's all, it flows in unity. If we come one with God and what he's created, it creates a harmony.
Yeah.
Tragedy will hit you.
Yes.
Trauma will hit divorce. People suffer self-esteem. Those things are part of our defects of humanity.
Yeah.
But I still believe humanity can heal itself.
Now, I know the human flesh, we go through a lot, right? But I do want to talk about the spiritual aspect of it. Like, what practices and tools do you think spiritually we can use, not only as just men, but just black men and just people in this society? What are things that we can spiritually do to help us overcome?
Well, there's a scripture that says that confess your faults one to another that you'll be healed. So we have to come to a place of a room of vulnerability.
Yes, sir.
Where we confess those situations so we can be healed. So it's just one ingredient, and we're not confessing. We're flossing. We are egotistical. We're not really being transparent in marriage. We have some of our black men are married, discontented.
Yeah.
I've mentored a lot of young men who have babies, 4, 5, 6 babies out of wedlock.
Wow.
6 baby mamas. What is it really just sex, or is something mental or something emotionally missing that you have these trails of offsprings and have no way to bring them to the next level? So I would want to be a bridge to that. So I think the first level is confessing, finding a place, a group, or an individual that you can express that truth to.
Yeah, and that just brought something to my attention. I really think it is going to be a beautiful thing where we can just have like a summit just for men to just get together to talk about openly and in transparent environment about their struggles. Because like you said, I don't believe that the help comes when we hear other people. A lot of times we go through things and don't feel like we're the only ones that go through it. Right. But once you start to talk to people, you realize that you're not alone and somebody else is walking through the same thing. What does finding yourself mean?
Well, finding myself, I'll say this. A lot of people say, I'm seeking God. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for God. I'm trying to find God. We go to Bible study to find God. I believe you can't find God. That's my belief. Mm-hmm. God is too big. He's the ancient of all days. Yeah. He's complicated. We're crying. He's laughing. Yeah. He judges. So how you going to find a being of such?
Right.
I believe finding God is finding yourself because we're in God. So finding oneself is finding God.
Finding God is finding yourself. Put that on
inside
the t-shirt.
Of God.
Inside of God. Because I want to back up a little bit and talk about some of your personal struggles, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
When you realized that, mental health was something that you needed to check, what were some of the things that you recognized in yourself that was like, okay, I need to take care of myself?
Well, one, mental health runs in my family. Mm-hmm. So I had uncles, on my dad's side, all of my uncles and aunts went into mental institutions.
Wow.
My mother married, of course, my father, and she was highly spiritual, and she made declaration that my sons will not have mental health issues. And my brother, who is in prison, he's released now. He could have dealt with that, but my mother prayed, so that curse was offset through the prayers of the mother.
Yeah.
So when I realized I was faced with, I never battled mental health in my entire life up until the time of their exit, the way they passed away, the trauma, the acceptance of death, and all the steps that it takes to heal. I realized, I'm a spiritual man, but even Superman has his weakness. Let me not hide behind the scripture.
That's real.
Let me not hide behind, it'll get better by and by. It didn't get better by and by. It got worse.
Yeah.
So I realized, it was a pastor here in Atlanta, Georgia, a very credible church here. I've ministered there a few times. He says, have you thought about seeing a therapist? I laugh. He said, why are you laughing? Because no one have ever proposed that to me.
Really?
No, to go see a therapist. We have been taught God will work it out. But because it came from him and I trust him, I considered the therapist, and I did. So the therapist just helped me to sort out some things. It wasn't a long period.
Yeah.
Just to know this is normal, to make sure I'm good. Are you hearing voices? No, I'm not hearing voices. He said it'll weather through. So I really had to do a checklist. Okay, let's do some practical things.
Yeah.
All the accolades, the PhDs, the doctorate degrees, and all these things, the authorship, the platform that you've been a part of, the television interviews, your mental health is important. And I sought out a therapist.
Yeah.
And acquire medication.
Okay, so I appreciate, and I really love these conversations because I feel like with you being vulnerable, it opens up for others, and I'm gonna be vulnerable and transparent myself. I too am medicated for anxiety.
Yes, sir.
I struggle with depression.
Wow.
I've been through some stuff that happened in my earlier life that I had to deal with at within the last 2 years. So, I think this is another example of just having real, true conversations, because I'm looking at somebody right now. You may not have it all together, but you're so much whole.
Yes, sir.
You're more wholer than you were back in 2020 when your parents exited, correct? So you believe that it definitely helped you.
I see the level of progress of my own. Of course, I was on the meds for a short period of time. It was to silence the noise because it was just always anxious and so I accepted that God used the medication for a period of time. He used a therapist for a period of time. But I want to speak to spiritual leaders. I mean, you can in the individual side, but then people are relying on me to live so they can live.
Absolutely.
But if I'm not preserved, I can't help you live.
Man.
And so the church world can be very cruel because we don't understand that even the pastor needs to be healed.
Come on.
He just buried his parents.
Yeah.
He can't consult you the way he used to.
Yeah.
He's not going to answer all your calls.
Yeah.
So I had to draw a line between God's people and me.
Yeah.
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 Me, God, and not the people. That's his people. I said, God,
Yeah.
this is your people.
Yeah.
They're not my people. They're your people.
It's a beautiful place to be, man. It's such a beautiful place to be when a man can say that I overcame.
Wow.
And lead by example to show other people that you too can get the help. You too, it is no shame in getting a therapist. There's no shame in if you have to get medication. There's no shame in that. And it's okay to talk to other people, especially other brothers, because somebody right now is waiting for Pastor Antoine Jasmine to hear this.
Wow.
Somebody right now is listening to this said, "Oh my goodness, okay, them too."
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I did a study on hypertension. My dad suffered with that. I don't have those problems. I'm a very healthy man.
Yeah.
But last maybe a couple of years, hypertension, the doctor said, why your pressure high? And the number one causes of hypertension is fear, anxiety, and stress. It all goes back to mental health.
Yeah.
So we have to get a hold of our stress, our fears, and anxieties. It's all connected to the human body. And when you conquer that, eating, I don't have eating problems. I don't eat a whole lot of bad food. But I realize that's the 3 number one causes of hypertension.
Yeah.
So I say, whatever audience I have, I'm going to give that to our people because many of our black men hide that they have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
So you pop them pills.
Yeah.
And you say it's okay, but no, it's your fear, your anxiety, and your stress.
Wow.
And no proper dieting, but that's the 3 number one reasons and causes for heart conditions.
Whew. He talking good, y'all. He talking good. This is the 15th book. What do you want people to take away from this particular book?
I want people to take away from that book, you could be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You could be Superman and still transparent.
Yeah.
I think the next wave of church leadership and government leadership is transparency.
Yes.
Because we have a generation that does not need a superhero pastor. You need a pastor that says, hey, I've been through, I struggled sexually. I struggled with divorce. I've been married 3 times and I murdered a man. I was in jail. When I was growing up, we didn't hear those testimonies. We gave a perfect Jesus. And now years later, we realize our predecessors did not give us a perfect man, a perfect gospel, but not a perfect method of how we approach the gospel. So I want to give a word. You can be transparent. You can grow your hair out. You can be fashionable. You can, be in the world, but not of it. You can mingle. You can interchangeably exchange things, ideas. So I think that the times and seasons have changed. And I want to be able to give that message as a trailblazer. You can be free, be yourself.
You heard the trailblazer speak. You can be yourself. You can be free and be yourself. Dr. Antoine Jasmine, How God Made Me, I Found Me. I'm going to leave off with this. When you realized that God found you, what was that moment like?
When God found me, it was a beautiful love relationship. I kid you not. I'm not. I've been around. I've been in love and had love relationships and rejection through love relationships. But the first love relationship I've ever had was with God. He told me who I was. I had a product of a mom and dad in the family, so not a product of a single parent home.
Right.
It wasn't perfect, but I had a mom and a dad. I knew mommy and daddy. But they couldn't discover who I was. But in a setting where it was revealed to me through dreams and visions and individuals that said, you're this and you're that, I knew in spirit as a child, God is talking to me. And I like God. So I vowed my allegiance to God that whatever life serves me, I'm going to serve you forever and ever.
And that's we're going to end there because, listen, when you said whatever God serves me, it's not always going to look good. No. And I tell people all the time, some of the worst things that could happen to you could be a blessing in the future.
Yes, sir.
And can set you up for the purpose that God has for you. And I appreciate, man, goodness gracious. Dr. Antoine Jasmine, thank you so much, man. How can everybody get How God Made Me, I Found Me?
How God Made Me is on all the Amazon there. You can look it up. Antoine Jasmine is on Amazon. Or you can just simply contact amjworldwide.com. That's www.amjworldwide.com and receive that book today.
I love it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Get the book, How God Made Me, I Found Me, Dr. Antoine Jasmine. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Thank
We got to do this again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anytime. Yes, sir.
All right. With a whole bunch of other fellas, too.
You're a fan, man. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Y'all keep it locked. This praise.